Welcome to my channel. My name is LJ and in this video I'm going to be creating this makeup look, this look right here. As usual, I'll be leaving a list of products in the description box below, so make sure you click down to see that. This look is 100% suitable for festival or if you want to be extra on a night out. If you want to find out how to recreate this look, then keep on watching.
Okay, let's get straight into the tutorial. So today's video I'm going to be going into more in-depth detail of every step. I'm not going to be skipping any in-between parts that are non-relevant, just so that you can see everything that I do. It's a bit longer, but hopefully you'll learn something new, and this is what YouTube is all about, I guess, making tutorials and teaching people new things. So here I'm applying my Shape Tape Concealer. This is going to prime my eyelid for eyeshadow, and it's also going to cover up any discolorations I have on my eyelids. I'm using an angled stippling brush, and I'm mostly pushing it into my skin and swooping it underneath the eyebrow to define the eyebrow. Now okay, so this is not your usual application for eyeshadow in the crease. So before I used to, and sometimes I still do, depends on my mood basically. So here I'm applying the eyeshadow onto the wet concealer. Now this set in a teeny bit because I was patting it in, but it's still quite tacky. I'm doing this because it's going to be super pigmented and it's going to show up the colour of the eyeshadow quite a bit. However, when you're doing this technique, it is a little bit more difficult and you can end up getting a chalky look to the eyeshadow, and we don't want that. So you need to go in bit by bit and little swirly motions, and then once you have all the eyeshadow built up in that area, you can do what I'm doing now, and it's like swirling all around just to diffuse the eyeshadow for a more blown out look. Now I'm going in with a deeper purple tone just on the outer corner of the lid. I'm still using the same brush. So this is the 6SS brush by INGLOT. It's my favorite fluffy blending brush. You'll see it in every single one of my videos. It's just my favorite brush for doing everything. So just applying the eyeshadows, swirling them around, buffing them in bit by bit to create a flawless blend. Now I'm applying a little bit more eyeshadow into that area and blending it in. Now using the 18SS bullet brush by INGLOT, I'm applying the same colour eyeshadow, just more saturated into the outer corner. This is going to make the look more pigmented, the eyeshadow more pigmented in that area. And then I'm going to buff it out again just to make sure there's no harsh lines with the 6SS INGLOT brush. INGLOT brushes are really nice. They're super long wearing, really durable, easy to clean. I also have a discount code with INGLOT, so if you do want to purchase, I'll leave the code in the description box. Now I'm cutting out the crease. So I'm going to use a gel liner which is white, a gel liner to cut out the crease. And I'm also using a lip brush. This lip brush is brilliant because it is really precise. It's a curved tip and I feel like it just gives me a really beautiful line, and it's just a really unusually good brush for cut crease. As you can see, I'm just carving out the shape very carefully, looking back and forth with the eye I've just done, trying to make it as symmetrical as possible, which can be impossible, but we do try. Filling in the gaps in between, I want it to be super white and super pigmented, so just keep going over it. Once I get to the mid lid, I start blending it out with my fingers and then apply more, blend it out again, apply more. It is a process and it does take quite some time to get it right. You could literally plonk it on, draw your line and away you go, but that's not how I roll, unfortunately. I do try my best to have it as nice as possible. You can see here when I pat it out with my fingers that it's blending in really well with the purple eyeshadow. That is kind of making more of an ombre effect, which is quite handy. Don't be afraid to use your fingers. There's a big taboo about using your fingers, but they're great. They're like the best tool you have. So now I'm just making that transition even smoother. I'm going in with a new INGLOT eyeshadow from the Miss Butterfly collection and applying that with the bullet brush so it's nice and pigmented into the mid-lid. Next I am going to apply one of my favourite parts, and this is pigment, always my favourite part. This is a stunning pigment. This is number 22 by INGLOT. It is purple with a gold reflect, and the reason I picked this one because it's purple, it matches the eyeshadow, but the gold is also going to help enhance the yellow that we're going to apply later on. And then the body sparkles in number 53 is like a beautiful effervescent sparkly glitter. It's very finely milled glitter particles, so this one you don't see it as much, but there's one in this like XL7 and it's the same thing, but it has a bigger glitter particle and it's stunning. But I didn't want it to be the star of the show in this look, so I used a more finely milled one. Going back in again with the bullet brush for more precision, and I'm bringing the darker purple eyeshadow over the top line of the crease just to make it more definite, and again blending and buffing out with the Success brush. So I started applying my blue eyeshadow underneath, and then I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to apply my eyeshadow. I forgot to apply my concealer underneath my eye, so I went back and started doing that again. So I always do my lids and then I do my concealer underneath just in case there's any fallout I can wipe it off, which there wasn't, but I'm always paranoid that there will be and it will ruin everything and just be annoying. So I do it afterwards, apply the concealer, and then I do my bottom lash line. Sometimes I'll do my full face at this stage and then I'll do my bottom lash line. It depends again on my mood on the day and what I want to do. So now we're going to start doing the blue look. I'm focusing on the outer corner and the inner corner, leaving a little gap in between, a little gap in the middle for the glitter. This is a MAC brush that I've had for years and years and years. I've no idea where I've gotten it. It used to say MAC on it and now there's like no number left on it. Everything is completely rubbed off. Going in with a darker, more navy blue on a Luxi brush. This is the 111 mini flat angled brush by Luxi. I am in love with Luxi mini detail brushes. They are absolutely brilliant. They're so minuscule, they get every single tiny detail and everything is on point when I use these brushes. Now I'm using more of a duochrome blue just to make it more vibrant. This pigment I'm using on the inner corner is like a white blue, and when you apply it it's like a glowy blue. So I wanted the inner corner to be quite blue and glowy looking. So I apply the pigment and then I go in with an eyeshadow 134, which is a rainbow shadow, but it has this beautiful duochrome in it as well. That darker navy blue colour got a little bit lost with all those blues, so I'm just going back in again with my Luxi brush and applying a little bit more of the darker navy blue. Now on to the fun part. This is where I'm going to apply my yellow gel liner. So this gel liner is waterproof, so it is a little bit more difficult to apply it into the waterline. You can see it goes on quite patchy. This is because the waterline is obviously wet and the waterproof product doesn't feel the need to stick to it, unfortunately. And this is very important. If you see a little bit going onto your eyeball, take it off straight away because I do wear contact lenses And if this product gets onto your contact lenses, you're done. You have to change them. Like, it's stuck on there, and it's the most annoying thing. You can really feel it. But don't let that deter you away from this product. This will literally last in your waterline all day long. Like, it's not going to budge, especially with such a bright color like this bright yellow. You want it to be as pigmented as possible, last all day, and this is definitely the product you need to use to do that. Okay, so this is the most nerve-wracking part of the whole entire look. This is where it can all go wrong, and it's like one of the last steps, but it can literally go downhill from here. So the main objective is to make sure it's symmetrical to the other side. Now, when I'm regularly doing eyeshadows, I'll do bit by bit on each eye. I would never really do one full look on one eye and then do the like complete start to finish on the other eye. But for the basis of making a tutorial, it's much easier to do a complete look on one eye and then replicate it on the other eye. But this is the hardest part. My biggest tip is start in the middle of where you want your line to be, and then work into the inner corner and then out to the outer corner. I also like when I do make mistakes doing my tutorials, so I can show you how I can fix it if I don't completely fuck it up altogether. So making sure it's symmetrical is the first part you need to achieve, and then making sure it's like a lovely straight line. So my lids are a little bit more crunkly, more old, I guess, so they are a little bit more hard to apply. Also, I'm layering it, so you can see here now it's more pigmented. So you apply a little line first and then go in with a bigger line on top, just to make sure it's nice and bright again. It's very important not to go in with too much straight away, otherwise it could go crumbly. Now this product is actually very good, so it doesn't ever really crack. I've never experienced it cracking or crumbling off, but I always do it little by little. That's kind of my mantra, I guess. So here you can see I've gone like a little bit outside of that line. So what I did is I got a little bit of Duraline onto the brush that I used to cut out the crease, and you can see it's like lifting away that line. Now I've gone back in again with the Duraline, and with the white that's still on my brush from cutting out the crease, it's after transferring underneath. Now at this stage I was like, oh shit, this is going completely wrong, Lord help me. But it actually turned out quite well, because I just dragged it out to the outer corner, went in with a little bit of the purple eyeshadow here, then I went in with the darker purple eyeshadow, and you can see here now it looks like I didn't make any mistakes. So that's how you fix it if you go wrong. Now I'm just preparing for the glitter and applying a white eyeshadow. I want the glitter to stand out. Applying a tiny bit of mascara. I'm focusing mostly on the inner corner lashes because they're super fair and short and hard to get to. This mascara wand is brilliant. This is the MAC Gigaback Lash. It's so good. I really do enjoy this mascara, and it gets right into my lashes. I highly recommend it if you have fair lashes like me and you're using lashes and it's just hard to get in there. These lashes are mink lashes from My Lash Wish. They are cruelty free and they are a Toronto based company, and these lashes are very nice. I apply it with my little lash helper from Tarte, and I've mentioned this before, but I'm absolutely completely useless at putting lashes on myself. I absolutely hate it. There's always a gap in between my actual lashes, the false lashes, and my eyelid. I just can't, like, it fails me every single time, but I did manage in the end. I think after 4 times applying these lashes. It's not the lashes, it's not the, it's just me. It's just, I can't do it. I always use the Duo latex free lash glue. It's important to be latex free because you never know when you might become allergic to these things. So here I'm just connecting where my lash line, because the lash line isn't clear, the lash band of the eyelashes is not clear. So I would have preferred to use a clear lash band, but I don't have any at this time. So I'm just connecting the inner corner with some liquid liner. Now I'm preparing for the glitter, which I'm going to use these from Michaels. I just apply a little bit of Duraline, which is acting as my adhesive. And then I apply my glitter with this amazing 45S glitter applicator brush. And for the bigger glitter particles, I go in first with a little bit of Lash glue, pop it on, go in and then get my little bit of bigger glitter. So popping on the glue, popping on the glitter. Next, I'm just adding the finishing touches to the blend of that purple eyeshadow, just using the very first colour we use, which is the lightest purple, and making sure that it's even on both sides and is perfectly blended out. And that is it. That's the finished eye makeup look. I went away and I put on the rest of my face. I'll leave the details below. Let me know if you enjoyed this tutorial by giving it a thumbs up on the video. You can find me on social media on Instagram and Facebook at anything but marzipan. Tag me if you recreate this look. As always, if you have any questions whatsoever, have a look in the description box or leave your comments below. I'm always happy to help. Thank you so much for watching up until the end. I hope the in-depth details have helped you out with this kind of look. And I'll see you in the next video.